I saw a clip of it. It popped up on World Star where she was talking about it was no women behind the scenes at Breakfast Club. That was the reason why she left. Did y'all hear about that?
I mean, it sounds real convenient to me. I mean, her complaints might be valid, but like, I mean, if you ain't getting the same streams as you did before, but now all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's because of my past. It's like, come on, you're full of shit, lady.
I smell cap, like this blue cap that me and my brother got on. The blue cap emoji. Rod, you capping. Stop it. We all know your show ain't doing as well as the Breakfast Club, and it's okay.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, why she come out? I don't know. I don't get it. I guess it's to throw slight at them or something like that.
She already probably has some kind of Anna with them. You know, she see they over there got different hosts on the show every week or every day or whatever, however they doing it.
She see what she left.
Yeah, and she see that they still able to thrive without her, and she probably feel a little slighted by it. But I mean, dog, let's be real. I mean, the biggest person on the show is Charlamagne, and if he ain't leaving, then the show gonna be fine. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. No matter if you love him, you hate him, Charlamagne runs that damn show. And you know what I'm saying? So you thinking that your ass leaving is gonna do something to their views? Because half the time, I mean, you act like you didn't want to be there anyway. It was just like, whatever. You were so nonchalant on the show. So people really don't care that you left. And that's not a slight to you. I wish you well. I hope you do your thing on your show. But don't be trying to throw them under the bus because your shit ain't doing as good as you thought it was going to do.
She must have thought she was Scottie Pippen. She could still win a championship without Jordan. It don't work like that. Sorry.
Come on, man.
Sorry.
Come on,
but you
man.
are now tuned in to another episode of They Gon' Feel Me, the greatest podcast ever created. I said it. Don't play with me. This is episode 55. Who wore number 55? Quick, Rob, hurry up. Terrell Suggs. There we go. The Terrell Suggs episode. Stop playing. You feel me? It is I, your boy, the dude that put ice in his wine. I don't give a fuck. Say something in the comments. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I'm gonna come get you. Y'all see my name. I'm Ja Wick. I don't play that.
Okay.
Come out with that thing. You feel me? I'm little Larry Hoover. Got my boy back outside, boys. The blue cap Reese. I got my boy Rob Rock with me, and I got my boy over here. He was just playing with his cat. Take that how you want to play it. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care how you want to take it. Take it how you want to take it. Don't matter to me. And like I said, this is episode 55. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share so your mama can see it, your daddy can see it, your auntie can see it, your uncle can see it, John Morant can see it from his prison cell. And we're about to get into this thing. You dig? Our boys ready, man.
Let's get it.
All right, man. We're going to start this thing off with Chris Rock. So he had a Netflix special that just came out. Came out, what, Friday, right?
No, it
came out
Saturday.
Came out last night? Saturday? Mm-hmm. Okay. Came out Saturday. Of course, he talked about the controversial thing that we were waiting for him to talk about, but he had a lot to say. What did y'all think about it? Did y'all think it was good? Were y'all just waiting to hear the Will Smith thing? Talk to me.
No, it wasn't good. That's how I
fell asleep halfway through it.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
First off, what was them boots my boy had on?
But nah, alright. So I do not hate Chris Rock. I don't hate Will Smith. I think that a lot of people who tuned in, they were probably waiting for the mess. Let's be real. You want to hear the tea, as the kids say nowadays. You know, and as a Chris Rock fan, I've been there for House of Pain, all of his HBO specials, you know, the Chris Rock show. You know, I've seen the totality, I'd say, of his career. And last night, he just sounded old. His material sounded old. It sounded dated. It sounded like kind of amateur, given like the legend of this man. And I'm surprised with how everybody wanted to come on like a Dave Chappelle and try to cancel him with some of the things he said. He said material that like a sorry ass, not sorry ass, but like a more weak Will person might say was like, oh, this is like, you're attacking some particular community. He said all this shit, but it was just so fucking dry. And it was like, please get to the Will Smith material. It was like, it's like when you over at some girl house and she give you food and you like, ooh, taste this, baby. And you chewing on it and you just chewing and the shit like lost all the flavor and like, oh, baby.
That overbaked ass chicken.
Yeah, that chewy ass chicken, that overcooked ass steak, and you just, like, can you please give me a drink to wash the shit down? That's what that whole special was. And then it wasn't funny. Like, I'm done.
Honestly, it wasn't funny. A lot of it was really offensive.
Super offensive.
Listen, I've never really, outside of the Everybody Hates Chris show, I've never really been a fan of Chris Rock's stand-up comedy. I just never found him really that funny. His comedy really was never my cup of tea. So it was hard for me to even, want to watch this, let alone sit through it and almost finish it. So it was tough to watch, man. I felt like, how you feel cringy, like for somebody else, like, and that's how I felt watching this. It was just a cringe fest, man. Like, he just was saying shit that I just did not rock with. I didn't agree with. And I was just like, damn, bro, you sound like, you know what I'm saying, the nigga, like, you sound like you wanted to be on Get Out and Get Taken, and you know what I'm saying, like, he sounded like he wanted to be abducted by the white people and be white. Like, and I'm just like, bro, like, you sound totally like out of sync with what's going on in the world and what's going on in the black community. It just sounds like a bunch of shit that just was better left unsaid to me personally. And I don't hate Chris Rock. I still think what Will Smith did was wrong. But also, it's like, it's been so long ago. It's like, why are we so excited to hear what he has to say now? Now, I was going to say, it would have been cool if he had did this like a few months after the incident. Like, I think it'd have been a little bit better. But because he waited so long to respond, I don't know. It don't really affect me in that way. I don't really care to hear what he got to say about Will Smith now. So
on the cool, I almost understand why the fuck Will Smith smacked his ass at this point. Like, that's how I really feel. It's like, I'm kind of on the slap side now. Like, hit him again, Will, Shit, motherfucker, have Jada hold his ass down while you hit him. Like, that shit was trash, bro.
I don't know. The beautiful thing to me about comedy or art in general is how many people can look at the same thing and get something totally different. Because I actually enjoyed it. I ain't got no problem with it. The only thing that I really was like, okay, was when he called Jada out of her name. But outside of that, bro, it is what it is.
He said it's cool to kill babies.
I didn't interrupt you, so let me continue to say what I'm saying. Okay. At the end of the day, it's comedy. It's supposed to be edgy. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. Because if we go back through history, we look at the Paul Mooneys, we look at the Eddie Murphys, we look at the Richard Pryors. All of them said stuff that was way far out there. Do you agree? Or do you think like, hey man, that's something I wouldn't have said. That's something that I wouldn't have thought. Of course. But hey, it's a free country. You can say whatever you want to say. And, a familiar refrain that a lot of people say, why did he wait so late to release it or whatever? Who am I or anybody else to tell him how to process what happened to him? I mean, look how long it took Will Smith to even come out and say anything. And he was the one that perpetuated the whole, the whole thing. He was the one that went on stage and slapped that man. So who am I to tell somebody what time or what time frame they got to respond to something? But to me, I thought the whole thing was calculated because it was Baltimore. Where is she from? Baltimore. The whole title of the thing is Selective. Selective. So people basically when you listen to people's comments, they're basically saying exactly or illustrating or further proving his point about selective outrage, where people will be selectively outraged by. I mean, people are basically proving his point. It wasn't meant to be a. That's hilarious.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Of course.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Definitely.
You're right.
I was selectively bored out my goddamn mind.
Yeah. Job accomplished, my nigga.
Trash.
I mean, that's it. That's okay.
I hear what you saying, but it's like we say it all the time, and even Charlemagne has said it. Yeah, it's a free country, and you got freedom of speech, but you also subject to backlash of what you're saying. And that whole shit about you could kill a kid up until he 4 years old was fucked up. I don't care what you say. Like,
I took that as a joke.
It's a joke.
I did take that. Even when he bringing up the killing kids, it was cringe because it just wasn't funny.
It was cringe.
Yeah, it wasn't funny. Yeah.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all. Like, I found
People
myself
got dark humor.
like, okay, when is he gonna get to the Will Smith shit? When is he gonna get to the Will? I get you got dark humor, but
it's dark. It's dark.
Dark humor is humor. That shit wasn't humorous.
That shit wasn't funny. Bro.
Again,
like, just being honest.
To y'all.
Everybody has a piece of dark humor in them.
I say it like this. Go ahead.
If three out of the 4 panelists on this show are saying it is not funny, then obviously the shit ain't funny. Like, even though that's your opinion, you can stick to it. I'm not knocking you for your opinion, but I'm just saying if the overwhelming majority of people who have seen this shit, and I've seen a ton of people on social media knocking him for a lot of the takes that he made during the show, and they talking about it's not funny. Like, so it's, I mean, honestly, it's not, the shit just wasn't good, bro.
I look at it like
I
this.
agree with Al. It sounded amateurish to me, personally. Like,
I look at it like
this.
I'll say this, and this last thing I'm going to say. Like, I feel like, looking at it, I feel as if, like, I was actually rocking with the whole idea of selective outrage. I agree with that as a point. There's parts what I did chuckle. They were genuine good jokes. I agree with him about, like, I, too, also want to knock down Doja Cat. Stuff like that. That was easy to, like, for everybody to kind of be on the same page on. But, like, honestly, even when he got to the Will Smith jokes, like, I already knew what he was going to say because I've seen little blurbs online or in newspaper articles or online articles where they talked about, like, he's been testing material at his various shows and he's going to say this, he's going to say that. And it was the same jokes. I was like, damn, I was waiting for some flames, you know, like something new. And honestly, the fact that this was live stream, I felt hurt him. Because, like, when I would assume that, you know, most comedians, they do several different shows and then they pick the best show, or he's even done a special where he did multiple shows and he did the best parts of all those shows and made a special out of it. And he could have benefited from that now. This was one of his not so great nights that basically we put on live. This is that time, like, oh yeah, let's buy Chris Rock tickets. And then you go to the show and you're like, damn, I just wasted, you know, $37 on Pookie from fucking, you know, New Jack City. It's like, damn, I could have watched motherfucking a rerun of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Like I said, at the end of the day, it's like art. Everybody got their different taste, whatever. I mean, like Seinfeld. People swear, you got people swear that Seinfeld is one of the funniest dudes ever. I could care less about Seinfeld. I don't find him funny.
His show's good.
Exactly. I hated it. I didn't like it. It just wasn't funny. I'm sitting there like, where the joke at, dog? What a joke. I mean, it's just certain comedians. It's certain comedians that ain't funny. If it ain't for you, it just ain't for you. And just moving on. Keep scrolling.
Trash, good.
Okay.
Put that shit in the garbage. Put that shit in the garbage can.
Right. All over the television.
With them white ass boots.
them thick white ass
go-go
boots.
dancer ass boots. With them petty
Extra
boots.
white ass skinny jeans. And that shit that was in his back pocket, clearly his script in his back pocket. Anyway, moving on to the next topic. We got my boy Lil Larry Hoover. My boy in Memphis, he done fucked around and went off Lamar or something. He turning up. Your boy Ja Morant, he didn't got a 2-game suspension for going on live with a weapon. A couple other things that didn't happen. So y'all tell me what y'all feel about my boy.
I mean, me personally, I live in Memphis. You know, I'm a Ja fan, but this is just something, you know, that I can't rock with per se. I don't know what's going on with Ja. You know, I don't know if it's a mental thing or, you know, if it's something going on in his life outside of basketball. I don't know what it is. I'm not making no excuses for him. Wrong is wrong. And I feel like his family definitely needs to pull him in. His dad is always at games. And I feel like this is a time where he needs to sit him down and be like, hey, son, you know, this ain't what you doing. Just ain't the way. You know, you got too much riding on being a superstar NBA player. He just got a shoe deal with Nike. And you got so many good things going for you. And you about to throw it all away trying to be a thug. Out here trying to be, you know, roll with Big 30 and fucking and Moneybag and all them boys. And it's like, bro, like, it just don't make no sense to me. And my wife said something to me last night that, you know, it's kind of true. You know, a lot of these NBA players want to be rappers and the rappers want to be NBA players. And this is basically the pinnacle of that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ja wants to be a rapper. He wants to be seen as this thug. And it's like, bro, like, you just got to let it go. Like, you can, you know, like looking while like dressing, you know, that's cool. But when you on live with a gun, you know, waving a gun, even if it is your gun, whatever, it's just the optics of it don't look good, bro. Like, at the end of the day, and it's just
Especially after
that,
already having them allegations.
especially
shit from Indiana.
especially after having the allegations with that 17-year-old. This is just not a good look. And I think a lot of people, a lot of these celebrities, these athletes, they think that they cannot be touched. And, you know, it's gonna be a rude awakening for a lot of them, because there's a lot of these guys. Look at Young Thug situation. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of these guys that's getting caught up, and the feds is after them. So if y'all think that, you know, they won't get him too, bro, they just waiting to make an example of y'all. So, I mean, I hope he get it together. I'm not here to bash him or, you know, say nothing negative out the way about him. I know a lot of people hate Ja for his, you know, his on the court, his arrogance and stuff like that. But, you know, that's a part of his game that I love. But I just feel like he need to leave all this other stuff behind and stop doing all this other stuff and get back to what he was when he first came into the league, who he was when he first came into the league. So
it's funny. I think recently I saw like this meme before like this popped off where it was like who we think Ja Morant is, and it's a picture with him and his family. It was before the tattoos, and he was like probably a teenager, and like he looks like a kid that grew up in a middle class, fairly, you know, well-to-do black family. And then it said who Ja Morant thinks he is, and it's a picture of like King Von, or somebody like that. I don't know, some young rapper, you know, with chains and grills and shit. And I mean, I don't know. It's like when you get into the space that he finds himself in, when a lot of people get into this glam and glitz, you know, it's like this hyper masculinity that you got to put forward to prove yourself. Maybe it's little man's disease because like he's seen like he tiny in the scope of some of the other NBA players that are out there, as far as like just maybe build or what have you. He feels as if like he got to like project some image of toughness that he really ain't got, or he ain't even gotta have. It's like, shit, the toughness that you need to show is like you getting to the finals every year, getting a couple of rings, and cementing your name, in the Mount Rushmore of greatest basketball players ever played. Not necessarily making an ass out of yourself and potentially getting your freedom taken away, or money deals taken away. He needs to be focused on the game. I think we all can agree on that.
I think out of all the stuff I've seen online, the thing that was probably the most poignant was what Jalen Rose had to say, because Jalen Rose was actually in that, in the same situation, being a young kid. But the difference is Jalen Rose actually came from that. He actually came from Detroit, the inner cities of Detroit, and he said, in your life, you gotta recognize who's coming to add, subtract, multiply, or divide from your life. And when you make those determinations, then you'll be better off, because it's alluding to your posse or your circle, the people that you have around you. And it's the danger of when you give young people, or anybody really, to be honest, because it's not necessarily with age, but with maturity. When you bring money and status and power to individuals, a lot of times people can't handle that, because if you haven't had money, you hadn't had access to all these things, you don't know what you would do. But I think another aspect of this that I'm not going to blame it totally on it, but the franchise or the city in which he's playing in, I think adds some of it too. Because let's think, if Ja was in Utah, I'm just saying, I don't think
that nigga will be a Morant.
I don't think you'd be looking at some of the same stuff. If he was in Indiana, I don't think it would be the same to a certain extent.
I don't know about Indiana.
I know you got Naptown, Indianapolis. I know, and they get wild or whatever.
Yeah, to get a little dirty.
But still, Memphis is still Memphis. And the other thing that's really glaring with that team, though, is there's no veteran influence on that team, because we talked about this before. When they had Andre Iguodala on that team, that boy did not want to be there. He did whatever he could to get the hell away from there and try to get back to Golden State. The only older person they have on there is Steven. I can't remember his. Steven Adams. But you see the incident with Shannon Sharp and all these various things. It reeks of immaturity, though. At some point you have to grow up. You got to grow up and start making better. You got to start making better decisions. But it all starts with the circle and the people that you have around you, because there's an old saying, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So if you got people around you that's there for a meal ticket, that's just yes men, you're going to have problems, because there's nobody going to be there that's really going to tell you what's up. Like, hey, bro, you tripping. You need to chill.
You made two good points. Number one, I definitely do think it's the city that he's in. He's come in and he's adapted, that lifestyle. He's adapted that Memphis swagger. Me and my brother grew up there. We know how it is. He's come in and he's definitely put on for Memphis. You see him in the picture throwing up foes and shit like that. Like, okay, bro. And then, the youth of it, right? The dude just like 22, 23, somewhere up in there. He's young. And the one thing that I kind of hate that I've been seeing on social media is a lot of people that's older in their 30s and like, oh man, he worth 300 M's. If I was worth that much at that age, I wouldn't be doing that. Like, nigga, stop. a lot of y'all, if I go back and I look at y'all pictures from 10 years ago, y'all was in the club with $20 posted up with that little picture and census with like 6 of you dudes, and y'all all had straps on. You wasn't supposed to have guns in the club, so cut it out. Is that any way, a shape, form, or fashion giving him a slight, giving him a pass? Of course not. Not giving him a pass. He does have to be smarter than that. But for people to be like, oh man, he worth this much money, and then shun him because he made a bad decision. Motherfuckers made a bad decision working at McDonald's. Chill the fuck out, okay? Like, y'all, he's clearly, especially if he's taking time away from mental health, you never know what's going on. We always talk about mental health. You don't know what's going on with him. I mean, you got the whole thing with Golden State. He's had injuries, trying to carry a franchise. He's young. He's got, sponsored by Nike now. A lot of stuff going.
I mean,
for
not
him.
to mention, his family. You don't know. He got a lot of mouths to feed. So,
Exactly. He got a lot of
that could
mouths
be
to feed, so
stressful
you
too.
never know. And then,
know.
I mean, I've seen videos of him, on like last year going to the All-Star game. He on the plane with his pops drinking straight out the tequila bottle and shit. Like, you don't know what any of that stuff does, especially when you look back at players like Allen Iverson, Jermaine O'Neal, all these folks that came in the league and they talked about the substance abuse that they had and the people that they still hung around. Even Paul Pierce. I give Paul Pierce a big shout out for what he said. He was like, you never know what somebody's going through. After I got stabbed playing for Boston, in Boston, after I got stabbed, I walked around with a gun every day because I didn't know. So you don't know, especially being in Memphis, you don't know what's happened. You don't know who's ran up on him. You don't know if he got tested. The whole situation with the 17-year-old, I saw some stuff about the dude was arguing with his mom. He came in and tried to break it up, and the dude was still getting violent with him and everything like that. Like, we know these dudes, these people nowadays don't give a damn. We see it each and every day. People getting shot, people getting guns drawn on them. I mean, he's in one of the most dangerous cities in the world. So you never know what's going through his mind. So before we quick to judge and say, hey, man, fuck him. He fucking up his meal ticket. He this, he that. He trying to be hard. First off, he grew up in South Carolina. I had my mom and my dad. I know plenty of people who had their mom and their dad and still went through shit. You don't know what he went through. Just because he took a family like that. That picture is so annoying. I get so sick and tired of seeing it. Just because he took a picture with his mom and dad. Okay, you jealous because he had his mom and his dad in his life? That don't mean that they didn't grow up in the hood. That picture could be fabricated.
Crazy as hell.
That picture could be completely fabricated. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the overall scheme of the picture. Oh, it's just one big happy family. You don't know what the fuck is going on behind the picture. We see that all the time. Oh, she looked like she having fun with him and they this, that, and the third. Woo wop the bam.
Well,
whole thing behind the scenes, dude beating the shit out of her. So you can't judge that person by that picture. You don't know how he grew up. I'm not giving him a slight and saying that what he's doing is okay. He definitely needs to take a step back and look at this. But if it is a mental health thing, I feel like a lot of people gonna look dumb as fuck for the things that they're saying because we always talk about mental health, but we not taking his mental health into account.
I actually don't have a problem with him having the gun. It's just like being on live with the gun.
Showing
like
it all.
the big, that's the
stuff.
problem. Like, I mean, that's why I say about like the hypermasculinity. It's like trying to, be like the Joneses or like the other niggas that you may see in social media and trying to turn up like them. And it's like, maybe that ain't the lane that you need to be in, given like the responsibilities that you have. That's how I feel like it. I mean, and I also would say, Memphis is dangerous. Maybe you should be pieced up, but at the same time, Memphis is dangerous. Maybe you shouldn't put yourself in a particular element where you might have to defend yourself too. It's like, you got to watch the kind of company you keep,
Yeah, that's true. But I'm saying, you never know when people gonna try you. It don't matter where you at. Yeah. So you gonna always a lot of times. Sometimes you need protection because folks will bring that shit to your front door at the end of the day.
Shit, even motherfucking Dolph got shot in front of a fucking bakery, right? Like,
So I mean, I agree. You got to be strapped up. But I do think that showing that shit, showing it on IG Live, it's just ignorant. And again, he's probably intoxicated. I'm not giving him no excuses for what he did. But I mean, when you look at the totality of the situation, you don't even know I'm sure he was intoxicated. But
100%.
At the same time, you have to be more aware than that of who you are, and you know that you're on the cusp if not already a superstar in the NBA, and people are going to be looking at you for the things that you do, especially something of that magnitude. So he just got to figure it out. But I agree with Chris with that picture. I see that people posting that picture all the time, and it's just like, bro, like, y'all do realize it's more than one hood. The project, just because he may not have stayed in the damn projects on Section 8 housing, don't mean he didn't stay in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's not just knock the man and say that he's this suburban kid that had a great family and you know, just because he has mom and a dad, because you don't know his situation. You don't know how he grew up.
But we all also know, like, the kid who trying to act much harder than what he actually is. Like, we've all known that kid too.
I mean, you could say that, but you don't know his life. You don't know his situation. You don't know how he came up at the end of the day. Like, I can say, yes, from the outside looking in, oh, he's the guy that's trying to be tough, but you don't know how he was brought up. I know plenty of people that grew up in the suburbs that's harder than some people that I done seen in the hood. Like, and I've been on both sides of the pendulum. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it all. And I've seen some people from the hood that's soft as hell, and some people from the suburbs that's hard as hell. So it really don't matter. Why are we having this debate about the suburbs versus the hood, and the hood just automatically makes you this hard person? And I'm not trying to justify none of that bullshit, because it's all stupid at the end of the day. But I'm just saying, stop trying to assassinate the man's character because you think he's this, because of your perception from the outside looking in. That's all I'm trying to say.
At the end of the day, I really just get tired of the struggle Olympics. You know, people always gotta judge people by where they come from. Like, that means
it's just dumb, bro. That shit don't mean shit.
Like, it means anything.
It don't mean nothing. You know, the hood automatically give you stripes. Oh, I'm from this side of the world, so that automatically mean I'm harder than you. I'm more realer than you. That shit don't mean
you struggled, shit. You know, just because you struggled a little bit more than the next person, it doesn't mean.
And just because you from the
anything.
hood, it don't mean that you lived a harder life than somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because this kid could be, he grew up in the suburbs, but like Chris said, his dad could be beating the shit out of his mom, and he's seeing that shit every day. And meanwhile, you may live in the projects, but you're not having to deal with the same mental, the things that tug at your mental health like he is. You know what I'm saying? It's different struggles. Everybody struggles.
But I think for me, the point I'm alluding to when I say about with the struggle Olympics is a mindset in our community in general, in which we glorify stuff, or glorify the struggle as if it's supposed to be a badge of honor. You know, when you have somebody come up with both of their parents, you know, or, you know, one of their parents, as if one is supposed to be better than the other, and then that can, you know, lends itself to, hey, if I'm making music glorifying this, now we have a whole narrative that's out there that people are looking to, or young people looking to, and it's brainwashing. To be honest, it's brainwashing our community. You know, being like, hey, I need to do this, or I need to do that, because that plays into it as well. Because if you're listening to the music that's glorified and that's being out there, as much as we don't want to talk about it, as much as you want to say, hey, artists have creative control, they get to say what they want to say, but we have to realize that there are power in words. There's power in music, the stuff that you listen to. If you listen to people talking about slanging dope all the time, killing folks, robbing folks, shooting folks, when they set to a nice trap beat, you listen to it all the time. Hey, it might not affect you because you might be strong mentally, but the next person that continually listens to it, like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to be. This is what I need to. This is what I think is cool. And like you said, like I said in the beginning, you know, he hanging with Moneybagg Yo. He hanging with these folks. He hanging with those folks. So in his mind, hey, these people are who are cool to me because I think they're cool. I'm listening to their music. the things that they rap about or glorify is pretty cool. Now, am I judging them? No, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, still it's a bigger picture that us as a community has to look at the whole thing. And it's not just one thing. Everybody has a hand in it, and that's why it's important when you're raising your kids to be careful of the stuff they listen to, be careful of the people that they hang around, and we as men should be your son's first and best role model in the store.
100%. At the end of the day, this should let y'all know LeBron James is the GOAT, because we ain't never seen nothing about him holding guns in the picture, bitch. Anyway, on to the next topic. Keeping it all in the family with sports. We got your boy Dion, man. I know y'all, a lot of people was upset and hating on him, seeing him leave, go to Colorado, but now it looked like he kind of regretting it a little bit. So it was a clip that came out with him talking to the band, and he trying to get his band to play some of the hip music that he had at Jackson State, which is definitely not gonna happen. Y'all gonna be playing Flight of the Bumblebee, my boy. How y'all feel about?
That boy might need to go recruit some of them SWAC bands.
That boy need the whole SWAC staff to go to Colorado, cuz it is not gonna happen. Them boys finna be out there playing Katy Perry at halftime.
What?
I kissed a girl and I like it. That's what they're gonna be playing.
Exactly. Man, what y'all think about that, man?
What's crazy is that like I know how white people feel now when they be talking about, oh, that's reverse racism. This nigga reverse appropriation, like this school. Like he wants them to like culturally appropriate somebody else's culture just to, I don't know, like what, make the game a little bit more live. It's like, my boy, that ain't what you signed up for. You know, you signed up for the money, not for the sauce, not for the feel of the SWAC. I mean, that I will say, that was the most unswack thing I had ever heard anybody say. Like his desire to, like, that was very unswack. I think old boy was on to something. I think the Graham coach was on to something. That
Alabama
was
State.
very unswack of you, Prime. Oh, I was on the same. My bad. Either way, and nigga, that was some bullshit. Like, I mean, nah, it ain't for them. It is like, I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper of our culture, but there are moments and times where I'm like, yo, this ain't the space for you. This ain't for you. You know, nah, you don't need to join in. You ain't invited to the proverbial, cookout that like you want to come to so bad.
Well,
I'm gonna say that wasn't cool, and then I'm gonna also say, I'm gonna let you go, Rob. I'm gonna say that wasn't cool, and there was another clip I saw where he was talking about the players he want on offense and the players he want on defense. Definitely did not think it was cool for that boy to come out there and be like, offense, I want, players, double parent households who out the bam, defensive players, I want them from the slums, I want them single mama, she working, trying to make ends meet. I get where he was going with it. It was just the way it was portrayed, the way it came off. It was not a good look, my boy.
Well, you say you're not a gatekeeper. Well, I am. Back there, Mississippi Valley State
University. I don't want to be a
University.
Gatekeeper, but I am.
Mississippi Valley State University, SWAC. Eddie Robinson Jr. told you from the beginning, he ain't SWAC. It is what it is, and he just further tells you who he is. I mean, he's a charlatan. He's a used car salesman. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, also, he's a master salesperson, because until this happened, wasn't nobody talking about Prime. Recruiting had ended in February. Wasn't nobody saying nothing about Colorado. This stuff is strategic, man. And what? Now he has people talking about Colorado again. How you think the video got leaked? Come on, let's use some common sense. Somebody at Colorado is recording. You having a meeting with the band director, and this mysterious piece of film just hits the internet. Come on, folks. It's intentional to keep his name out there, to keep folks talking about him. But give him what he wants. Give him his attention. Hey man,
no.
Here you go. You got your attention. You got your dust ass band. hey, they still gonna sound dusty and rhythmless. It is what it is. I mean, you want to go there? Go there. But you're not gonna take the culture. You're not gonna take the culture with you. The culture ain't for sale. You may be for sale, but the culture ain't for sale. Go over there, enjoy your money, enjoy your code.
Rob was waiting to talk about
it.
This.
It is what it is. I mean, because he been alive from the jump. So I mean, hey, you can go.
Y'all want to know why Rob Y'all want to know why Rob came into the episode like this? It was this topic. That nigga was waiting for topic 3, cuz.
Boy.
I just don't want to hear. I don't want to hear the collard greens, the Whole Foods collard greens and raisins version of Earth, Wind, and Fire being played by like some Midwest band. You know, where I could listen to FAMU. I can listen to not Jackson State, fuck that. But like, I can listen to Alcorn or Tennessee State or any other band play that music. I'm there for that experience. And the last thing I want is somebody trying to explain my culture to me once enough bands start emulating this shit. Because that's exactly how it always goes. It's like, first one person starts doing it. Like Miley Cyrus, all of a sudden she starts twerking. Then a bunch of other white women, they start twerking. Now you got like white women teaching twerking classes, talking about like they're the originators of some shit. No, SWAC is uniquely ours, and you ain't there to inject our culture into them. You there to get your paycheck. Do that, my boy. And leave it like that. That's how I look at it.
It's like you're helping. You're actually helping in the co-opting of various things, because as you said, just another example of a group like Outkast. All of us know Outkast didn't start making music, with Stank on You. But just because that's when you started listening to them, this new band called Outkast, they're really, really good. You have no idea about the previous music that they put out, because it wasn't mainstream. It wasn't for your ears, but you'll have them co-opting certain things. Now their big thing is woke. Originally when you hear people say woke, we're talking about the quote unquote hotel people. But now they've co-opted woke. So, social experiment for everybody listening and everybody watching. Next time you hear or see one of them on social media or in person say woke, just ask them, what exactly does woke mean? And wait for a response. Wait for a definition.
The butchered explanation.
Just wait for it and look on their face. The look of bewilderment, the wild state of bewilderment. I just heard on TV, Marjorie.
That gotta be Marjorie, cuz.
All I know is if you turn on ESPNU and the Colorado Buffaloes are out there trying to swag surf during halftime, I'm going to be fucking disgusted and I'm going to throw up.
Hey, now the swag surfing, bruh. The white schools been picked that up. You late on that one.
Oh, yeah, they been doing that.
They been doing that, my boy.
I'm just saying.
I done see so many old white men. Yeah, I got that swag. Like, what if you don't shut your ass up?
I got that swag.
Talking about.
They did that at the University of Memphis game.
That's like LSU band playing neck now. So much that folks actually think that LSU band started playing net. Like, you do realize you got Southern right across the street, they've been blowing neck for however long. I mean, umpteen years, probably when Cameo first made actually made the song. But, you hear LSU playing it now. They put their rendition on it now. Hey, look at LSU. They sound.
Not to mention, it was by fucking Cameo. The nigga had like a fucking cod piece, my nigga, and a fucking kid and play high top before the kid and play high top was a kid and play high top. Dog, get the fuck out of here. What you mean? Trying to steal our goddamn shit. Nigga. Fuck the boy. These cloud color folks, boy.
Clearly this topic has ruffled some feathers, boy.
Fucking up. Prime time fucking up right now. Shit.
Moving on to the next topic, man. We got your boy Jonathan Major and Michael B. Jordan. So it's recently been a big uproar with giving Michael B. Jordan his flowers. Jonathan Major came out on the Walk of Fame when Michael B. Jordan got his star and all that, and he gave him some good compliments. Said he was a handsome brother. Woo wop the bam, and people been bashing him online. So fellas, can we not give each other compliments no more?
Man, it's just
We've
damn
never
if you
really
do,
been
damn
able
if
to
you
do
don't. Bruh, like, it's just like, man, we can't even compliment our own brothers now without being called suspect or something wrong.
How you gotta do it though?
Can't smoke hookah, can't call our brothers, our brothers
like
handsome.
damn, son, you look good today, son.
Damn. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
a fine
no,
haircut
I mean,
you got, son. No homo.
I feel like Michael B. Jordan been getting a lot of negativity since that red carpet interview with the goofy ass chick that didn't like him back in the day, and he just happened to he did it in the nicest way too. He told her, I remember in high school you used to say I was a lame,
Goofy.
basically.
Yeah.
What he said.
Called McCorny or something like that.
And he
Corny,
did it
right?
he did it in the nicest. It didn't even seem like it was any kind of negative way that he did it. He did it so cool, so smooth, and he still gave her lame ass the interview. Like at the end of the day, he could have just walked off and been like, I ain't doing this shit. Yeah, I remember you from back in high school, and I ain't doing
Like
this
I
damn
would have
interview.
did.
But he gave her the interview, and ever since then, people been on his neck. You know what I'm saying? Calling him a lame, calling him corny. Joe Budden, one of the people, I like Joe, but I feel like he didn't win a little hard on Michael B. Jordan, and I just feel like it's unwarranted all over some interview with some chick that half the people don't even know who she is. But anyway, like, man, I just feel like as brothers, that's the one thing that we should be able to do is give each other compliments. Like, it's too much hate in this world. Like, if I see a dude like wearing some nice kicks or like got on a nice outfit, I'd be like, man, I like that. You look fly. Like, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like, why can't we even give each other compliments? That don't even make no sense. Like, it's been plenty of times I had on some shoes or something, or a dude to be like, hey, you look good, you know what I'm saying? Or your kicks look good, or, I ain't never had a dude call me handsome, but even if they call you handsome, what's the problem, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying?
But
like, I just don't.
Keep it a buck, though. That's where the compliments stop. Like, look at those five, dog. Those shit tight. That's all you getting. You ain't getting no nigga saying
women,
like, God damn, dog. Like, look at your back.
What's the difference? Women call each other beautiful all the time,
do.
bro. Like, but what's the difference? Why can't a man say another man, hey man, you look good. You're a handsome man. I ain't saying I would ever do it, but in this day and age now where we're so LGBTQIA community, and
a lot of damn letters, man.
I'm trying to remember all the motherfuckers. Forgive me if I left one out, goddamn it. But
y'all sound like Chris Rock.
Where we're trying to be so inclusive, and we're trying to stop hate speech and negativity towards certain people. Why is it when a man is telling another man that he's handsome, is it seen in a negative light? Like, why can't he do that? That's my question.
I feel like it's hate going towards both of them, though.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Well, I look at it like this. This kind of goes back to that whole thing about hypermasculinity. Let's be real. As men, we taught from a pretty early age, at least from the generation we come from and older, that, like, I mean, the dudes, yeah, we can give compliments here and there, but like it only goes to a certain point. Yes, women have much healthier relationships to the point that a girl can kiss another girl, and that don't even mean shit. If you see another nigga kiss another nigga on the lips, like, folk gonna be thinking they're gonna be calling you gay for the rest of your life, unless you're Lil Wayne somehow. But that's another conversation for another day. But like, either way, like, I mean, we aren't emotionally, like, healthy enough. Like, we have, that conversation has been really had in all the male, different sections of life, you know, like fathers don't pass down to fathers like, hey, you can think a nigga is sexy and that's all right, son. Or you can call a nigga like handsome, or like you can just outwardly give a compliment without it meaning anything other than just being a goddamn compliment, you know? Even, you see how uncomfortable y'all feel right now, me saying that shit?
I'm uncomfortable just funny the way you explained it.
Because you said when you threw sexy into the
exactly.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
not gonna go to no nigga and say, hey, my nigga, you look mad sexy today, bro. I'm not gonna
But okay, now, but Teresa's point.
Bruh.
Now, women, when they see each other in the club, they will stop a woman mid-walk. I've watched my wife do it. They will stop a woman mid-walk and be like, right. Women will say that type of shit. Them titties, all right titties, all right hair, all right shoes. Like, women would do all that shit to, like, other women. You ain't never gonna see a nigga be like, all right, beard.
All right,
like,
chest.
what the fuck?
Your shoulders.
Like, you ain't never gonna hear another nigga say that to another nigga.
I ain't never said, all right, beard, but I've been like, damn, a nigga, your beard look popping. Like, what you use type shit. Cause I'm trying to get mine to grow. So I do some stuff like that. Or if you in the gym, you like, damn, bro, your shoulders popping. Hey man, what you do?
It's the way that you do
It's the way, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. I can't.
Let me say this.
Like,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, how many times? Okay. How many times has somebody like did that to you? They came up to you and be like, damn, I'm trying to get like you know, and then because like this nigga's a stranger, you be like, is this nigga gay or something? Like that didn't cross into your mind just a little bit when somebody just giving you a few too many compliments. That's also
the thing about that.
Ain't nobody ever going overboard.
When you said it like that, I really think it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's like if you say it in a smooth, confident way,
exactly,
and not an awkward, weird, like cringy, you know, kind of way. Like, man, I've been watching you, bro. Your calves is popping, son. I'm like, hell no. I'm like, man, you better go on somewhere. You like, bro, you whipping that calf machine. I mean, just keep it moving, you know, just keep it moving. If you make the comment in a confident, just normal, matter of factly way, like you're not, like there's no kind of innuendo or something else behind it, I don't think there's a problem with it. But when you saying something and you kind of looking kind of predatory, like, you know, all right, hey, bro, you keep that to yourself. Yeah, no, we don't need no LL Cool J like yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I think
got Hey Lover playing in the background, man.
I will say, bro, I knew this one dude that lost a lot of weight. He did have a pretty suspect meeting in the gym. This big buff ass dude was like, hey man, you lose a lot of weight. Your dick starting to show now. I said, no, my boy. That was overboard.
Flag
it did not happen to me. It was a friend. All right?
Hey. 15-yard penalty, dog.
That shit was hilarious, bro. That shit was hilarious. That's why I'm laughing so much.
Illegal procedure. Hey.
Oh, Lord. There's a dude who lost a lot of weight, man. He told her, look, bro, your shit started to show. It wasn't showing before. And in my mind, I'm like, nigga, why you looking? Okay. Losing a lot of weight. I can see your print. Your print starting to show. Your print showing in the gray sweats, my boy. Welcome to the club.
Veins?
Hold on,
Are those veins, my nigga? That's impressive, dog. Like,
is that a king size snicker? That whoa, king.
Is that an eggplant emoji down?
Boy, I see you're a shower, not a grower, but I'm like,
oh my god. Oh man. Now if he would have said some stuff like that, that's where it's overboard. But I mean, to be like, it's my handsome brother, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? I don't see nothing wrong with that. One of my bosses told me, he like, you know, he kind of pointed it out. I can't remember, it was somebody who was on GQ years ago, and white boss, of course. These conversations, I feel like, happen in white households that don't happen in black households. So I feel like they come up saying, hey, he's a handsome young fella, whatever the case may be. We don't say that a lot. But my boss kind of let me know, like, look, it's okay for you to say somebody's handsome and not be gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that's who you are. Like, you're just giving them a compliment. That's a way of giving them a compliment. So I personally didn't look at it that way, but I feel like both of them have been catching flack. Like Reed said, the stuff that Michael B. Jordan said, and it wasn't even rude. I mean, we remember shit that people say that's way less worse. So for him to still give the woman the time of day, I don't feel like he should be getting that much flack for it. And then, you know, Jonathan Majors had that GQ post where he was on there with the flowers, with the shit, with his shirt off. And I've seen a lot of other pictures where, like, one of the characters from Demon Slayer was who he was portraying. I know Prince had a picture like that years ago. So it's like, we're just so quick to try and say things about our people, about our brothers, for no reason. Like, we so quick to try we want them to be gay so bad, so we have something to talk about.
I think that, back in the day, it used to be a thing where if you see another handsome guy, you know, like people that, you know, a guy that everybody thought was handsome, you know, part of it was you calling him gay because, like, you slick side hating when it was all said and done. You know, like, it didn't have anything to do with you, even disagreeing with what people had to say. It's just like, man, fuck that gay ass nigga. You know, like, that's how it came out. That's how it presented. Because there's no way of saying, like, stop giving him all that attention. I deserve that same amount of attention or whatever. You know, there aren't a lot of safe spaces for men to basically be, you know, just transparent, open, and complimentary without it, like, being viewed as something different. You know, women get that luxury. Not even just black women or black men or whatever. Like, women in general get that luxury, and men, even the white ones or Asian or whatever, that, like, they don't move like that. Even when I went overseas, like, I saw how men kind of, like, interact with each other, and it was a lot more loving without necessarily being sexual. And that kind of shit here in the States would never fly, you know, like, it just wouldn't. And that's kind of, like, sad. They're like, you know, we can't have that emotional health to basically say, hey, yo, you know, this is my brother, I'm gonna treat him like my brother because, like, you know, we all kings and, like, it's all respect. That's it.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and I, like, that's why, like, I love people like my uncle, like, you know, people who are are solid enough in a masculinity that they can give another man a compliment without feeling some type of way. Like, you know, every time you go around, this boy, you looking good, you know what I'm saying? Like, you looking handsome, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's second nature to them. Like, they good within themselves enough to be able to give another man a compliment. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a lot of the problem with men today. They're not confident enough within themselves to give somebody else a compliment like that. Like, you're a handsome man, or you looking good, boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that all goes back somewhat to sometimes being insecure within yourself at the end of the day.
Or, might I add, a lot of men don't want to say it, because down low, they looking at that print. So that's neither here nor there. But y'all know how we close the show out every week, man. What is the best thing? I know, right? How I said,
Oh, well. Moving on. What the fuck?
Moving on.
Go ahead. Oh,
man,
shit.
I tell you what the best thing y'all seen all week, man. And it better not be a nigga print.
I mean, it's only... Man, I'm
done. But dude, I'm out. That was better than Chris Rock, I promise.
Hey, much better.
Yeah, really. 10 times.
But I mean, since we was talking about Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan, it's only right that for me personally, the best thing I've seen this week is Creed 3. Definitely recommend going to see it, man. It was a hell of a movie. To me, it was the best out of all three of the Creeds. I love the storyline, a lot of action. And so I definitely recommend, man, if you ain't went and seen it, go see it. I was very surprised by the turnout. Like, I didn't think a lot of people was going to see Creed 3 like that, but it was a lot of us in the movie theater too. So that was pretty dope to see a lot of us coming out to support, two black men, well, just black people in general, but, two male leads in the movie. And I want to give a shout out to Jonathan Mayers, man. He's a hell of an actor. I feel like eventually he's gonna hopefully win an Oscar because he has some crazy range, like, to be able to be Kang and Ant-Man, and then turn around and be Damien in Creed 3 is pretty dope to see, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg.
Lovecraft Country.
I mean, he had some roles in the past that were really, really good. Yeah, Lovecraft Country. So, I mean, the guy is a really great actor, man. And again, go see Creed 3 if you haven't seen it. It's a great movie. Shout out to the cat. You know what I'm saying?
Told y'all you was playing with the cats, cuz.
He said he said he want to see Creed 3 I'll see. You know what I'm saying?
But nah, since you brought up
catting tonight, what can I say?
Since you brought up Ant-Man, I'm gonna say that was the best thing that I seen all week, solely because of Jonathan. I mean, the movie itself really didn't catch my eye. It wasn't that good, but his acting in the movie, like, was top, bro. Like the way he acted out the aggression scenes, the soft scenes, everything. Like you could see that character for sure. So that's definitely the best thing that I've seen all week, solely because of him.
So my favorite thing that I saw all week actually was I have to give it to him, like the new House Party remake.
That's it, good, bro.
So I look at it like this, how the original House Party. That's one, the House Party 1, House Party 2, arguably House Party 3. That's in the lexicon of black movies that you should have seen, like Color Purple or New Jack City, this House Party ain't that. I'm just gonna keep it all the way a book. It ain't that, But as it is, this movie is it feels like the kind of movie that a bunch of social media influencers got together, were given a budget, and they just went on Tubi and went wild and made the best possible movie they could possibly make. And because like that, it feels like it's very celebrity heavy, very influencer heavy. And the scene that really completely won me over, spoiler alert before, is the scene in the middle with a particular celebrity, and they go off and do some wild shit for like just often in this fantastical world that they have in this movie. And that shit is hilarious, It's so far off from what the original House Party is, but it's its own movie by itself, and I really appreciate it. And it has its moments that are kind of like flat, but like it has enough to keep you entertained. So that's my movie for the week.
Yeah, I love how they pay homage to the original House Party too. With that with the whole dance scene and everything. So that was pretty dope. So.
And they laugh at themselves. LeBron laughs at himself. I think that's pretty dope too. And
I love how LeBron, how they like portray LeBron as this, egotistical person. Like he has this hologram in his room that he tells himself he's great, and all these things. So that was really cool too. Seeing that. So
I was really big on reality TV. So I felt nostalgic this past week. I went back and on Netflix, I checked out season 12 of The Real World because it was on there, Las Vegas. And it was actually one of my favorite seasons because they had 3 African Americans on it. It was a season with Alton Irulan and Arissa. And I just remembered it. But then watching it back years later, and actually have gone to Las Vegas and been some of the places where they were actually viewed or shot it. It was just interesting going back and going back and watching it at the time, because I didn't realize when I was watching it as in college how toxic their relationship, the relationship between Alton and Earlonne was at the time, and also Steven and Trishelle. But it was just, it was fun, nostalgic watch going back and watching Real World, because up until that season, it had always been like maybe one black person on the Real World, and so for me, that was like one of my favorite ones because it had more representation of us on it. So that was my thing for this week.
One other greatest thing I gotta add, man. I hadn't been able to go to my son's basketball game the last 2 weeks because 2 weeks ago I had COVID, of course, and then last week my wife had COVID. So the first when I had COVID, she went to his game. And then last week we didn't take him at all, but my son scored his first bucket, man. He came down here, hit a spin, and laid that bit up, and then looked at me and said, "Yeah." I said, "My boy." So hey, that's definitely the best thing I've seen. They called timeout after. I said, "Boy, where you learn to move from?" He said, "Me." I said, "Oh shit." So yeah, man, yeah, that's definitely the best thing I've seen all week. My boy out there like a young Kyrie AI. He not.
The boy ain't scoring them little greasy kids, did he?
He gonna be that. So it is what it is.
Is he like Ja? Does he have a gun?
Hey, chill, man.
Oh, my bad.
He got a couple toy guns. He got a couple toy guns, and that's where it stops. He already around.
I got a Draco, Daddy.
Nigga asking for Jordans, coming out talking about some right foot creep. I said, who the hell you think you are listening to NBA Youngboy? Oh yeah, man, I'm becoming that parent. About to have to whoop his ass after this episode. So y'all have officially made it to the end of the episode. Yeah, that's right. No. The music playing in the background right now as I speak. You feel me? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this so your mama can see it, your daddy can see it, all them folks. Hey. You feel me? And if you made it,
compliment other men. Talk about they print.
Also, we a couple subscribes away from 100. We're trying to get to 100.
Bam, there you go. So share it so people can subscribe and they can come get some of this good content. And like I said, if y'all done made it this far, man, y'all tell us what the best thing y'all done seen all week. Give us some topics that we can talk about next week, if at all. You feel me? But until next time, from Ja Wick, from Back Outside Boys, from Rob Rock, and the nigga that play with his cats and mute his motherfucking microphone while we in the middle of recording. If you didn't feel us this time, I guarantee you gon' feel us the next.
Hey, it's your boy Rob from the TheyGonFeelMePodcast. And if you want more authentic conversations from authentic men, check out this video.